Okay. Want to make a little statement first? Is that good? Okay. Yeah, I just can't tell you how proud I am of our team. And I just told them that, and it seems like, just a ho-hum victory against an in-state school to a lot of people, but it didn't feel that way to our team. We had such a heartbreaking loss yesterday. And, offensively, we hadn't been doing much. And then, our one of our weekend starting pitchers goes out there and gets hit around by a really good veteran hitting team, and we fall behind 5-1. And what was so great was, just to see that nobody was hanging their heads, nobody was doubting that the life in the dugout was still good. Cruz got us going with that home run, and then Travinsky came through with a big pinch hit off the bench. And then after that, we just really kind of loosened up and started getting some big hits. Of course, Gavin Dugas's grand slam tied the ball game up, and Jordan Thompson hits the home run to give us the lead. And after that, we just continued to swing the bats. I think the key to the game, however, was Javen Coleman coming in and doing the job that he did in relief of AJ. He just took complete control of the game and gave our offense a chance to start swinging the bats. And it was nice to be able to play everybody. It was nice to get the bats going the way we did. I thought we played super defense. We really didn't have to play much defense early in the game. They were getting hits off AJ, but he also was striking a lot of batters out. And we ended up, I think, striking out several of their hitters. I haven't seen a box score yet, but I'm sure it was double digits. So we didn't have to play defense, but when we needed to, Jordan Thompson starting that round the horn double play when the game was still somewhat in doubt there. If that hitter gets a base hit there, their tying run is in the on deck circle. So that was a key play in the ball game. And the stretch at first base by Trey on the throw from our shortstop that was a little bit errant was a tremendous athletic play. So I think tonight you saw why I'm so excited about guys like Dylan Cruz and Trey Morgan and Jordan Thompson and several others. And it was it's really a great team victory today. I was just really proud of the guys. That was a total team effort.
Paul, following up on Javen Coleman there, did you see this kind of from him in preseason practice that made you think he would pitch this well in a crucial situation right out of the gate?
Really did. I mean, he was going to start tomorrow night against Southern University had we had the 2 midweek games. So he and Garrett Edwards were going to be our 2 midweek starters. And I've seen a lot of potential out of this kid, Coleman. Sometimes he tinkers around a little bit too much and doesn't just challenge the hitters. And he falls in the preseason. He would, go 3 balls or walk guys. And today, he gave up the home run. He fell behind 2-0 and had to throw it in there, just laid it in there. And the kid hits a home run. It was really the only blemish on his outing. And I told him, I said, you have to trust your ability. If you just go after the hitters and attack them, you're good enough to get this good hitting team out. And I think he did that. He proved that he's good enough to pitch at this level if he just trusts his stuff and goes after the hitters. And I thought he made some real clutch pitches. Just really proud of him. He could have continued if we wanted him to, but I think that was the right time to take him out and let him feel really good about his effort and just continue to build his confidence.
Coach David from Rivals, watching the game on television, you could see a tremendous amount, like what you were talking about, energy and just in that 6th inning from everybody, not just with the Dugas Grand Slam, but everybody. Is that just kind of like the fun part of having a young team where, the energy is going to be there and it might be something you can build on?
David, the fun part is when you start doing well and you start getting hits and scoring runs. And I think that brings the energy out of the guys. It was kind of a relief to everybody, really. The first two games of the season against the Air Force Academy, we didn't get a lot of hits. We didn't score a lot of runs, and I think what happened is once we started showing that we really had the ability to hit and guys were having good approaches up there and coming through, I think that youthful enthusiasm came out at that point, but it's just hard to show a lot of energy when you're not coming through in clutch situations and you're not, getting big hits and you're not, hitting the ball with authority. Today, I don't know what we were with runners in scoring position, but certainly was a lot better. and we hit the ball with a lot of authority. We talked with the team, yet last night via text message and then today before the game about going on the attack and believing in yourself and being aggressive and getting, hunting fastballs and get your money's worth up there. And our team just played with so much more confidence and aggressiveness. And sometimes it just takes a couple games of the season to just kind of get into it that way and have that confidence. LSU is not an easy place to play. The expectations are so high and people start chatting, out there at, social media, and these kids hear all that stuff and they start pressing a little bit. And this season is so new, and the kids, we had 4 freshmen in the starting lineup, plus 3 reclassified freshmen. So technically we had 7 freshmen out of 9 position players in the lineup today. And then a freshman pitcher came in and did such a wonderful job for us. So yeah, I think that, David, that youth is part of the exuberance. But I think once you start having some success and guys start feeling good, they get loosened up and they start having more fun, and you can see it, the energy in the dugout that way.
Yeah, Paul, Gavin Dugas picked a really good time to break his 0-for-6 start.
Yeah.
And it seemed when he hit that, it just opened the floodgates for y'all. Everybody just kind of got jacked. And your last 4 at bats, y'all had 15 runs off of 12 hits.
Yeah.
They just took one big blow and y'all got going.
But that's what happens, Ron. I've been around this game my whole life. Once somebody comes through with a big hit, it just loosens up the whole team. I thought that Dylan Cruz's massive home run there to right center field loosened us up a little bit, but then we needed more guys to do it. And then I think Travinsky's hit was huge when he came off the bench, pinch hit from Milazzo and smoked that ball up the middle. And then, of course, Dugas came through with that big swing. And, listen, Gavin has had a great fall, a great preseason. I'm not going to panic and, all the good that he's done after 2 games. But at the same time, we challenged him and the kid responded. And he's, when they do that, you got something special. There's no question he's got the talent to be a really good hitter. And Eddie Smith has been telling me every day that this guy is going to have a big year for us. And Eddie works with him every day. You have to trust your coaches. You have to believe what they tell you. And Gavin, I think, proved that faith in him today. Today was well-founded.
Coach, obviously such a long season and, so many games ahead, but it does feel like this is kind of a big spot. If you were going to Lafayette on a 2-game losing streak and kind of the bummer yesterday, that would have been a little bit more difficult for you, huh?
Jacques, you just can't think like that. It's easy to sit up in the press box and say those kinds of things, especially when we're losing 5-1. But we've won a lot of games in my coaching career where had we not won those games, oh boy, look at how things would have been, a losing streak or whatever. But honest to God, what the score was 5-1, and we were having a tough time getting them out. And we hadn't really yet proven that we had a great offensive team. You could sense in the dugout that there was still no quit in our team. There was an aura of confidence amongst our team, just hearing the comments that they were making to each other. And then all it took was some leadership, and we got that leadership. It doesn't have to be a veteran. It can be a freshman like Cruz hitting that home run, or Travinsky, who not got a lot of experience here, after a shortened season last year coming through. And then, of course, Gavin getting that swing. And then Jordan Thompson breaking the tie with a bomb of his own. Leadership comes in a lot of different people, and the best kind of leadership is guys coming through in clutch situations for you.
Paul, do you have an update on Giovanni at this time?
He's got a strained hamstring. It was pretty sore today, so I really don't have any kind of a timetable, but it'll be a while. My guess is it'll probably be at least a couple of weeks. And then what happened, we had Will Safford in the starting lineup, and during batting practice, he collided with Gavin Dugas chasing a fly ball. Will Safford didn't communicate properly, and Gavin was working hard in the outfield, and the two of them collided, and it could have been worse. It was like slow motion. I could see it from a distance that something was going to happen there. But then they both got up and they jogged off at the end of their group. And I asked Safford how he was, and he said he was fine. Then his hip really tightened up on him and he couldn't swing the bat. So Mitchell Sanford went in for him, and Mitchell did what I thought he was going to do. Mitchell has had a great fall and a great preseason, and he's got a great attitude. He's an awesome kid, a tremendous leader, high school quarterback. I was so glad that when he jumped in there and he did the job. He got a big hit when he smoked that base hit to right field. I think that was right before Dugas hit the grand slam, if I'm not mistaken. So, again, total team effort tonight, and just so happy for the entire group. They were very enthused after the game, after getting that win. I know it meant a lot to them.
Hey,
Coach.
Paul, just I guess before you get to the sixth inning, going back a little bit, what were you thinking as before Dugas goes up to the plate and hits the grand slam?
What was I thinking?
What were you thinking? How the game's going?
Yeah, I was glad that Javen. Listen, AJ was throwing strikes, and they got a good hitting team, veteran hitting team, and at one point I think we were being out hit like 10-1 or something, and I thought Javen Coleman coming in and showing what he showed was really key to our team. And I think that gave a lot of confidence to our offensive team that we could hold them down if we could just go ahead and start swinging the bats like we knew we were capable of. And as I mentioned before, the guys got the big hits. And then, of course, Dugas's grand slam tied the ball game. And that was enormous and lifted a lot of pressure off the shoulders of our players. And after that, they just played loosey-goosey and had a lot of fun and let it rip. And, they showed the talent that they actually have that we all knew that they had.
Coach, we're 2 days removed from Jaden Hill's start. Just an update. Everything is going well. No pain, anything 2 days later?
He feels great. Jaden's anxious to get back out there Friday night again. I thought he looked awesome the other day, and I know he's excited about pitching again on Friday. He's 100% ready to go.
You had mentioned that this was a young lineup, and just to hear you talk about the game and see the social media posts that you referenced, just the third game of the season, it seems like there's it seems a little crazy. Do you kind of have to remind them, hey, this isn't life and death like a lot of people may?
Hey, Mike, LSU is not for everybody. If you come to LSU, it means that you got something about you. You embrace the expectations, you embrace the pressure, and there's a lot of talk out there. People like to criticize. We know that. I've always said the only thing worse than criticism is apathy, and our fans are not apathetic, that's for sure. And you wouldn't want it any other way. Sometimes you wish they'd be a little bit more patient, but hey, it's what fandom is. They love their Tigers, and they're passionate about it, and they're gonna say things. But as youngsters, that my players, they have to learn to block that stuff out, because it really doesn't matter. The only thing that really matters is what they think of the guy when they look themselves in the mirror and know that they're doing the very best that they can. And we recruit him here, Nolan Kane and the rest of the coaching staff. We're not blind. We know what a good looking ball player looks like, and the kids that we invite to come play at LSU, we know they're talented, and they just have to, we know that they've got a lot of courage. If this is the frying pan here, and everybody expects you to win every game by a big score. And we know that's not possible. The game is not made that way. And I told him yesterday, after we lost a heartbreaking loss to the Air Force Academy, there's no shame in losing to those kids. When I coached at the Air Force Academy, we had great wins against top ranked teams, during my time too. They just don't have enough talent to maintain it day in and day out over the course of a long season, but they can get up and beat anybody. And I told our players after the game, tonight, when you go to bed, you be grateful that we have kids like those Air Force Academy cadets defending our country and being the custodians of our way of life. The way they played that game yesterday, you should feel good about that. Those are the leaders in our country, and the people that are going to be, sacrificing for us. So there's no shame in losing to those guys. And their pitching yesterday was outstanding, and we had a little bit of bad luck, and it turned out the way it did, but that's baseball. I'm just proud of our team today, the way they came back, didn't hang their heads. They battled hard, even after falling behind 5-1. This was a really good win for our team and the growth and development of our team. Okay. Oh, I got guys here waiting. We'll let them come on. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being here.
All right, y'all can start questions.
Gavin, hey, it's Wilson from The Advocate. If you could, just for starters, take us through your home run there. What did you see on that pitch?
I could say right before I got up to the plate, coach looked at me and he said, "You win this fight, you win your battle." It's something we kind of talked about before the game started today. We were going to come out swinging. We're going to be aggressive in what we did today, confident in how we handled ourselves, and we were going to be the ones that come on top, and we were going to lose. We weren't going to lose any fight that was put in front of us. And in my mind, when I took that swing, I instantly knew that I won my battle and I won that pitch. So it just kind of took that confidence and ran with it.
Gavin, even David from Rivals, even before your grand slam, there was a lot of emotion when it started building up. People were positive, pointing to the dugout and all that kind of stuff. And yours was kind of like the topper there. Just talk about the emotion in the dugout from the beginning of the inning to the very end.
Well, I can honestly say, starting from the whole game, from the beginning, after we went down 5-1, there was no panic. Like Coach said, nobody on our team was freaking out. Everybody was still locked in. We never thought we were out of the game. We always thought we were in it. And that's one thing that I do love about this team since we started playing this weekend. I kind of noticed that we have a lot of fight in us. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the season as we continue to play out the rest of the year.
Gavin, you've been around enough to know some of the young, what it's like to be a young guy on this team, to see a Dylan kind of step up the way he has, Trey step up the way they have. And we were just talking to Coach about this. You already feel the pressure. It's only 3 games into this season to perform tonight. How have they handled it? How have you guys helped them handle it?
Well, honestly, for anybody and everybody that comes to LSU, it's something you have to learn, something you have to go through. I did it myself. Unlike me, those guys are ready to play out the gate. There's some really good players. They're going to be really good players for the rest of the year and in the future and beyond that. But honestly, when you go to LSU, you just got to understand that pressure comes no matter what we do, no matter how we do it. LSU brings a lot of stuff to you, and you got to be ready to take it on. So it's kind of a feel thing. You got to figure it out on your own. It's nothing you can really tell a player. It's really something you just got to go through.
You pronounce the S at the end of your name?
The farther south you go, I think the S kind of gets thrown out the window, but the more north you're up, you could say Dugas, but I pretty much say Dugas. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Gavin, had you seen this kind of performance from Javen Coleman? I mean, did y'all, when he came in the game there, did y'all, believe that this was possible? I mean, 3 2/3 innings and only gave up the 1 hit.
I can honestly credit Javen for keeping us in that game. He came in, he threw strikes, he dominated, he did what he needed to do to just keep us in that game. But yes, I do expect it. I've seen Javen, I faced Javen this whole fall and spring practices. I know what he's capable of. He's a great player. And he's a big reason why we stayed in that game. And he helped us to ultimately come back and win that game.
If you could just had a quick turnaround, but you guys got ULL on Wednesday. How excited are you for that matchup and be playing in Lafayette?
Oh, it's really exciting. We got one of our good buddies, CJ Willis. One of my old teammates is over there, so I'm really excited to do a little competition against them. Just love playing in-state schools because it's always a World Series for them. Something that we take pride in, something that we come to the field every day, and we want to own the state, and that's our goal. So we're going to keep pushing forward and keeping our minds right. We'll be ready for Wednesday, and we're excited to get to it.
Gavin, real quick, how do you think Drew and then Mitchell played there in center field today, seeing as Gio could miss a couple weeks here with his hamstring injury?
Yeah, you hate to see Gio go down. I feel really bad for him. I understand it. It happens. It's part of the game. But I know Drew and Gio. Drew and Mitch and Will Safford, whenever he's healthy, are going to come and they're going to take that role and they're going to run with it too. And it's going to be just like Gio never left. But obviously we do miss him. He was a great player. He'll be back ready to go, stronger than ever. I'm excited for him to come back. But they're going to fill that role really well. We'll be just fine in center field until Gio gets back.
Good.
All right, y'all can start questions.
Javen, David from Rivals, you give up the one home run, the one hit, but then it seemed like everything just started rolling for you. Just talk about what your feel was like, and did you feel like it was one of those nights where all your pitchers were on?
I mean, yeah, I was definitely locked in. I mean, the home run definitely motivated me to really dominate and step it up again, and I think that's what I did. So.
Hey, Javen, Wilson Alexander from The Advocate. Pleasure to meet you. What was your mindset and mentality kind of going in there? Y'all were losing and you had a runner on first base as you entered the game.
Right. No, I got the call and I knew I had to step up, and I was trying to hype my team up, and I knew what I could do, and that's what I do. And I was just like, mow them down, go right at them, don't let up. And so that's what happened.
Hey, Javen, first of all, congrats on the win. And how do you think that you performed in your first ever debut?
Can you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
Congrats on the win. And how do you think you performed in your debut college game?
I can barely hear.
How do you think you performed in your debut for college?
Appreciate it. I think I did really well. Like I said, I was just trying to go in there and mow them down and show everybody what I'm made of. And I think I executed it and did really well.
Javen, are you just too young to not know what you don't know? And so therefore you just kind of go in there and play your game?
No, I just go in there and do it, have some swagger and throw it at them. So see what happened. And that's what happened.
Javen, Coach Mainieri said that the coaches told y'all at some point, you have to trust your ability. If you just attack the hitters, you're good enough to get them out. When did y'all have that conversation? Was that today or during preseason practice?
No, preseason practice. He kind of, he kept telling me that, and I was like, I knew how to do it, and I just told myself before I went in, I was just like, go at them like they've been saying. So.
Does it help?
Javen, your situation. Yeah. Hey, Javen, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the easiest situation for you to go in. I mean, there was some relief, appearances you go in when, and the team's not rolling like that, but they were just really had it going. I mean, it wasn't like you stepped in and it was sporadic hitting. They had it going. So, I mean, did that make you perform even better, like under pressure? Like, I've got to get these guys cooled off.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I knew how to boost my confidence, and I mean, my team backed it up. So.
With 6-2 when you went in, I mean, does that alleviate some of the pressure? Because no one's expecting you to, to really do much at that point. They just want you to go in there and pump strikes, right?
Right. Yeah. They told me, get us back in the dugout and let us swing. And I think I got us back in the dugout and we started swinging.
So, thanks.
How big is Richmond, Texas?
It's not very big.
No.
It's kind of on the outskirts of Houston, but yeah, it's a pretty small little town.
It's got a Walmart and a Sonic?
Yeah, just about.
Thanks, Javen. Appreciate it, man.
All right, this is Jordan Thompson. Y'all can start with questions.
Yeah, Jordan, were you just kind of, after Gavin's home run, just kind of jacked up? You thought, maybe the pitcher's a bit unnerved. I'll just go at him.
Oh yeah, definitely had me really excited. And they had just made a pitching change. So our hitting coach, Coach Eddie, came up to me and he said, take a hack and do some damage. And I just tried to put a good swing together, and things happened in that way. So I was pretty excited about it.
Jordan, can you do me a favor and just scoot up closer to the thing? There you go. Beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Hey, Jordan, this is Glenn West here with LSU Country. I mean, Paul had talked about, really all spring, how you just kind of been a little bit inconsistent throughout spring, which is why he was a little uncomfortable with that side. I mean, first start, you make all the plays, you get a big hit there. I mean, just how comfortable are you, in starting as a third baseman here?
I feel really comfortable, actually. I think as of lately, I've been a lot more consistent, feeling good about myself. So I don't really have any concerns moving forward with myself. So I just need to continue to prove myself every single day.
Hey, Jordan, Wilson Alexander from The Advocate. Nice to meet you. They said that even before Gavin said that there was just a lot of confidence. But do you still feel like that sort of changed the mood in the dugout at all? Just around the team, all of a sudden you're right back in, the game's tied.
Oh, definitely. I think going into that inning, nobody was down. Like, we knew like we were going to put hits together and get things going. But when Gavin hit that home run, it got everybody jacked up, and it was kind of like the spark plug that took everyone off, and it helped us get going for the rest of the game.
Jordan, was there anything that you did to sort of make yourself feel more consistent just as a fielder throwing across the diamond? Mainieri said that was just the only thing that was kind of going on with you during preseason practice. Now that you feel more comfortable, was there anything that you did, or just kind of clicked?
Yeah, I think it's just practice and repetition and focus mainly. I've been out there doing a lot of extra work, taking more ground balls and making sure like my throws are good. I would pull Trey Morgan after practice, so we would take ground balls and I would throw to him, making sure that I'm throwing balls on the bag that he can make plays on. So I think a lot of that has helped, and so we'll just keep moving forward with that and continue to take extra ground balls.
Do you feel like if you get the ball anywhere near Trey, he's going to catch it?
Can you say that again?
I said, do you feel like that if you get the ball anywhere near Trey, that he's going to catch it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Trey is so athletic. I love having him as my first baseman. If you throw it high, he's going to jump up and come back on the bag. If you throw it wide to the right or left, he's going to stretch and make a good play, and he picks everything. So it's a real benefit for the infield to have him there because he makes a lot of plays happen.
Does it help that you guys are all awfully young together and kind of come together and learn, as a unit?
I definitely think it does. I think the older guys had definitely brought us in really well, and it made it easy for us to click as a team. I feel like there's nobody that's left out. Everyone's the same in the locker room. Everyone gets treated the same. And I think that helps with everyone playing better and feeling comfortable when you're in the field or in the clubhouse or in the dugout. So, it's a big shout out to the older guys for bringing us in like that. I think that's what made everything click for our team for sure.
Jordan, we've gotten this far. We actually haven't mentioned Dylan Cruz, who had an incredible opening weekend.
Yeah.
They constantly post his exit velocities. It's like over 111 miles an hour and stuff.
Yeah.
Where does the speed off the bat come from for him?
Honestly, dude has the biggest legs I've ever seen. So he I don't know, he just whips the bat around, and when he hits the ball, it's always hit hard. He's my roommate, so I'm always telling him one day I'm gonna catch up to you, one day I'm gonna catch up to you. But I think he's got me beat on that for a while.
He was getting comps to some of the greatest players in history from all over the place before he ever played a game.
Yeah.
And then he comes out and he does this. How did you see him as his roommate handling that sort of attention before he even stepped onto the field?
Oh, well, Dylan's a great guy. So, I mean, he knows how to handle his business. He doesn't let things get to his head. He doesn't get too high off of the good things that people say, and he doesn't get too low off the bad things that people say. And he's really focused and he works really hard. So, I mean, he deserves everything that he gets. He's a real great ball player, and I love him as a person.
How rare, he hits the ball 419 feet opposite field. In your experience, how rare is that?
I mean, I can't do that for sure. I mean, I don't see many guys doing that, especially as an 18-year-old and a freshman in the SEC. So, I mean, it's really special to see, and I'm really glad that he's our teammate.
I think I was the only one left here. So, I mean, I'm good. I appreciate your time, Jordan. It's a pleasure to meet
All
you.
right, awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, all, that's all. Thank you.
Thanks.